Okay, I had said that we need a pullback, right? I said 98 first. Take something by 98. Anything below the 98 is good fortune. I'm looking at yesterday's support area. Okay, that was yesterday's angel. See it? Right here at 98. That's why we want to react here. By 98, take something. Give it a few minutes. I said before the news came out, we need to come backwards a little bit. Some point today, we'll have a two-way day probably. I said we need to come backwards. This is part of that process. Anybody that's got the 99s, take something. We're looking at yesterday's angel at 98. You don't need a miracle. All you need to do is a little common sense. And you don't need to get home runs in this business. Everybody's looking up. You know, yesterday I said we're priced for perfection. So the market right now is pulling back as we had hoped it would. And this point right here is a key. Right? That was yesterday's end of the day, that support zone. 15-minute basis. So this 96 zone is where we broke out from. That'll be a retest if we get there today. And my guess is we're going to have some backing and filling, and it's not going to be as easy as everybody thinks to plunge. So I'm not thinking plunge. We need to go backwards to pick up more passengers to keep the charade going. So 98 is support until broken, and if that breaks, then we can come back and we can test into this 96 zone. So grab something pre-market. And chunk it. You know, we've had a good, strong push. The market's not going to just roll over and die. NQ looking good. Made its new high, sucker high, and then pulled back in. 30-minute chart looking good. Keep your eye on the 30 for the NQ. And that's a leader, so we want to keep an eye on it. And a reminder, yesterday's angel, 98. Got to break that down before you do anything. Anybody wants to buy, you're using the 98 to 97 for your support, just scalping long. And we opened at 02 and a quarter. So that's the gap. Very small range, less than 5-point range. About a 5-point range. And that, 1 and a quarter is the middle. So very hard in a market like this to expect a plunge. But today should be a little more neutral. Don't forget, morning after trend day suggests that you can buy dips. We have yet to make a new high today, though. Let me see your plan. Yeah, Goldilocks, are right. Yeah, I like what you're saying there about Haggerty's timing. Yes. Yeah, that's a good plan you're laying out. I think today we can do two-way trading. I think we do need some backing and filling, but you have to be cautious. I like the short side scalping early. This is profit taking for the weeklies. And then at some point, that'll be it. It'll dry up and bounce back. I would hope we could get a little bit more than this, but you can't count on it. You know, come on, the crooks are running the asylum here. We said there's a potential. The next potential is to get back to that a slightly higher high. And we said yesterday anything above '04 was good fortune. I still feel that way today, but there are some natural completion targets in that '05 to '06 and a half range. And certainly this 95 zone that we broke out of, you've got to penetrate that for any further south side. So I think today's a two-way day, and I think first, you have to understand, until you unwind these traders, they're not going to let it go. So the burden is on the bears, the shorts, to undo these traders. Got to take out first the 98, and we've got to take out that 96 zone, and then we've got to undo this 94, yesterday's low. So currently we're shaping up for range trading right now by those dynamics. You can see it. So anybody that's playing short side first, a reminder, just don't get caught, because we do have a gap. Every gap has been filled long side. I think the ball is being handed to Charlie right now, and we'll pull back a little bit. You get a little bit of time, a directional trade. Once it starts in a direction, you don't want to be the first one to be buying and saying, okay, that's it. You got to give it time. Here's the 98 target. And anybody wants to buy, a reminder, we've come a long way, and this is profit taking on and being forced on the weeklies right now. Right before the news, last thing I said was we need a little pullback. They have been pulling back to buy. And that's the reason why I like the pullback first today. With that said, I don't enter the market until the news comes out. And then I want to see evidence that it's coming in that direction. This chart tells me that there's a better edge for a squeeze from the blue line coming up to the high end. But once you get to this level, you lose that edge for the long side. Okay, if you get into the 98 to 99 zone and you've taken a couple of shots at it, I believe you should take some profits here. It's just been too hard to come by on the short side.